Hello everyone, it's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl, and before the video starts, I just wanted to let everyone know that I have an Indiegogo live right now of my very first comic book cover ever. So if you like me and you want to support my artwork, go on to the Indiegogo, the link is in the description below, and check out some of the tiers, and if you support it, it would mean the world to me. Thank you so much everyone, and now on to today's video. What's up all my Ewoks, Tribbles, Droids, and Wookiees, it's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl, and I'm kinda, sorta losing my voice, so this is going to be a quieter stream, just because I can't do much range or else it starts cracking and doesn't sound too pretty. So today, after that side note, we are going to be talking about He-Man. So there is a new He-Man show under development that Kevin Smith is in charge of, and apparently there's a lot of controversy around it. So articles are saying one thing, people are reporting on it. Kevin Smith is commenting on those tweets from those people and saying another thing. So the narrative that's being pushed right now is that in this new He-Man series, it's supposed to be a continuation of, the original He-Man, is that it's not, He-Man's not going to be the main character. The main character is supposed to be Teela, and Teela is going to continue on and try to, find the sword and get all the answers to Grayskull. All right, and there was even this little screen so this is the article says it's going to be led by Teela. So basically, everyone's kind of losing their mind, saying, "Oh no, it's instead of being about He-Man, which is the way it's marketed, it's like He-Man's coming back. It's not going to be about He-Man. It's going to be about a Wahmen, just like everything in media is turning into it. It's all about the Wahmen. You can't have anything be about a man anymore because men are evil, especially white men." What is He-Man? Oh yeah, he's a white man. But apparently, according to Kevin Smith, none of that is true. But then he corrected the article. He commented on the tweet from Clownfish TV. But then other people are posting pictures from this convention, and at this convention somebody took a picture of what was projected up on the screen, saying that it is in fact going to be led by Tila and follow her instead of He-Man. Now, I understand everyone can get upset about that because of the way that everything has been going in Hollywood. Now, as someone that grew up watching He-Man, I had them all on VHS. I didn't get to watch the one that came out in the 2000s. I watched the OG He-Man. I had the hand-me-down action figures from my brother. I'm still trying to find a sorceress because the sorceress that we had kind of disintegrated, and it's pretty hard to find, but it is what it is. Skeletor is perfectly intact, though. That's the one that always makes it through. Always Skeletor. But I'm a pretty big fan of He-Man, and I've actually been rewatching it recently with my stepdaughter. She really likes He-Man. Not as much of a fan of She-Ra, but definitely we're big on He-Man right now. So that's something I used to watch when I was a kid. Now I'm rewatching it as an adult, and it actually, hearing the whole concept that it's going to be Teela that is the one that gets the sword and is going to find the answer to Castle Grayskull, it reminded me of an actual episode in He-Man, which is the episode where you find out, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, that the sorceress is actually Teela's mother. And so, this happens in TV shows where when you have like an episodic kind of structure where each episode in itself is its own story, and some episodes are this is an episode about Orko, and you're going to find out a little bit more about Orko. This is an episode about Battle Cat. This is an episode about He-Man. This is an episode about Man at Arms. This is an episode about Teela. And there are episodes like that. And a lot of the time, because for those that are not familiar with He-Man, He-Man's persona, his OG persona, is Prince Adam. And then he gets the sword, he sounds, the power, and turns into He-Man. And then all of a sudden he's the badass. Cringer turns into Battle Cat. And then he goes and fights Skeletor. And, Beast Man. And all of those goofy villains. But before that, he's Prince Adam, and he's kind of aloof. Nobody puts two and two together that he's He-Man, even though they look exactly the same. He's in pink and purple, and Teela's this badass warrior who's raised by Man-at-Arms, and it's this whole thing that's part of the plot. And it's kind of funny that the audience, we know that Prince Adam is He-Man, but nobody else on the show apparently doesn't get it, and it just, the way that it's pitched for this new show, but if you actually watch the original He-Man, that's not far from the source materials, that Prince Adam is the kind of joke, and that when he, then when he becomes He-Man, he is the man, he's He-Man, he has the power. But Teela is always a strong, independent woman. I shouldn't say woman, because, she's not a woman, well, she is a woman, but she's not in a derogatory, let's use it for social justice narratives and virtue signaling. No, she's just a strong woman, because that's the way that she was raised. She is she's a badass. That's how Teela is. And it does happen to help that she was raised by her foster father, Man-at-Arms, and then her mother just happened to be the sorceress as well. So this whole idea that it's going to be led more by Teela, I'm like, well, I've seen plenty of episodes where Teela is at the forefront. As a He-Man fan, I wasn't bothered by this. It actually, if they do it to where it's Teela on this and it's Prince Adam, and it says that she's trying to find the sword, if I can remember correctly from the little clip that I found, which, okay, if they're trying to find the sword, that means that Prince Adam can't become He-Man because he needs the sword to activate the magic to become He-Man. So I was like, that actually does make sense, because Teela is the more dominant personality, the A personality, as compared to Prince Adam. He's the B passive personality, because he's got to hide who he is when he becomes He-Man. And so if it's a show that starts off with the basis of, the sword is gone, they need to go and find the sword, okay, well, that would make sense that Teela is the leader in that sense, because when it's her and Prince Adam, that's actually how it goes. For those that actually watch the OG show. Now, I understand that there are some differences between, the reboot show, the 2000 show. Again, I didn't watch it. That was a little bit out of my time period when I was watching those things, because at that point, I had only seen, the reruns that were on VHSs that you could get at thrift stores, and we didn't have cable. So I only got to watch that kind of stuff when I went over to my friend's house. I don't remember it ever being on. Actually, like, I can't remember it. I remember the action figures at stores, but I don't actually ever remember catching it on TV. So I missed it. I missed that one. I guess I could go back and find it and watch it, but I'm one of those people that it's like, it's hard for me to deviate from the originals. But I mean, maybe from what I got, the impression is that they're going off of the originals and they're not going off of the 2000s version of He-Man. Now, I personally, as somebody that's watched it, I wouldn't necessarily be bothered by this news, because it does kind of make sense from a storytelling standpoint. The way that it's pitched, the way that Holly Weird is going about things, yeah, that's where the worry is. Because me, a reasonable person, hearing this, if it was any other time period in, Hollyweird and Hollywood, their little bubble, I wouldn't be alarmed. Like, if I was, if this was, 5 years ago, I wouldn't be so worried. If, especially if it was like 10 years ago, I wouldn't be so worried. But, we're in the time period we are now, which I think is what's raising everyone's alarm. Because the second that you hear, oh, this show that is led by a man, it's called He-Man. It's not called Teela. It's called He-Man. But the fact that they're marketing says, oh, it's going to be run by Teela, yeah, that's kind of alarming. It's kind of like when you have TV shows like Hercules and Xena. It's like they had crossover episodes all the time. You know, they were in the same universe. It was just there's the Xena show and there's the Hercules show. And Hercules would show up on Xena's show and Xena would show up on Hercules' show. It didn't take away from the fact that Xena is a strong, you know, character, that it's not just a strong woman, she's a strong character. Same with everyone knows who Hercules is. But when you had a, you know, Hercules, it didn't advertise that, oh, this episode's gonna be, you know, yeah, we know it's gonna be a crossover, but it's like that you don't immediately change the name from Hercules to Xena. And every single time it was an episode where, you know, Hercules and Xena had crossovers, they worked together, you know, one character, even if it is that one character show, it didn't take away from the show or the plot, if that makes sense. But again, that was back then, back when writing was actually good. I don't know if I have much faith in Kevin Smith, to be honest, not really. The fact that he's actually acknowledging this on Twitter does say a lot, though. But as a He-Man fan, the news itself didn't alarm me because it does seem something that would make sense. It's wholly weird in the time period we are in that alarms me. So I hope that made sense. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, that's okay too. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I'm sorry that I'm kind of low energy in this video. My throat has just been killing me. I was doing a few live streams the other night, and I talk so much, and all those that I do in my little Hose Be Crazy video, it's not helping. So especially with all this dust, I've been remodeling my kitchen, and now I'm rambling, but it's just not been fun. Lack of sleep, lack of eating because I have no kitchen right now, and streaming too much and talking too much is taking its toll. So I hope you guys enjoyed this laid back video. I'm happy to talk about He-Man. Huge He-Man fan, have been for a long time. I'm excited to see more things come out about this, but also at the same time, the more we learn could get bad. So I don't know. As of right now, the most alarming thing is wholly weird. The story, not necessarily. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, have a great rest of your day, and may the force be with you, because we are really, really, really gonna need it. Bye, everyone. What's up, everyone? It's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl, and I have an Etsy store, so if you've ever wanted to own a print of my artwork, this is the place to go. As you can see, I have a lot of recognizable characters, from horror films to heroes to Star Wars characters. Some of the notable characters I have on here are Darth Vader, which I did a couple live streams painting, so you can own a print of this painting. I also have Luke Skywalker, the Binary Sunset version, one of my favorite scenes in the original New Hope movie. I have Darth Maul, which Ray Parks himself actually complimented me on Instagram. And then last but certainly not least, Ahsoka Tano. So if you want to own any of these prints, go right on over to my Etsy store. Again, that's The Art of Anna, That Star Wars Girl, or TSWG for short. Thank you, everyone, and have a great rest of your day. What's up, everyone? I have a P.O. box, so if you want to send me some mail, go ahead and send it to Anna, That Star Wars Girl, or TSWG for short, at P.O. Box number 28171, Santa Ana, California, 927998171. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much.